Good morning, traders. All right, so let's see what the market is going to give us today. Let's take a look at gold. Gold right now is ranging, okay? We're definitely in the middle of the two boxes and yesterday's high and low, so this is good. Again, anything can happen right here. We have news, so it all depends on what the news are going to give us. I love this blue box because it's inside my yesterday's low. So there are good possibilities that if it goes inside here, it can reach down here, and then maybe we can look for buy entries. And then, the sell ones, I really don't like to sell although we have this box right here, I don't really like to look for sell entries outside of yesterday's high, but there could be a good possibility that it might reach over here and then bounce off and then maybe go all the way down here. Again, it's kind of like rangy in the middle. We can see that price bounced off in here and then went up to this first level of the pullback zones. Okay, so it is in a ranging market right now. Let's take a look at euro dollar and see what those other pairs can give us. So euro dollar right now is on the blue zone, right? So we'll see what it gives us, but maybe hopefully it gets out of here and then goes all the way to yesterday's low. Will be great if it's going to continue to the downside, or maybe it's going to reach to this box right here, okay, to this prior highs, okay. So once it gets out of yesterday's high, there are high probabilities that it will reach here. So the idea is that if it reaches to any level in here, it's best to wait for price to reach closer to this box right here so that you can look for sell entries, okay? Don't sell. As long as if it stays inside yesterday's high, it will be better. But if it gets out of it, then wait until price reaches all the way here, okay? So let's see what euro dollar will bring us today. So again, it will be great to sell as long as it doesn't get out of yesterday's high. If it gets out, then sell here. Or, it will be great to wait if it comes all the way down here to yesterday's low, okay? Or, if we want to buy, we have to be very careful. But we'll see what it gives us today. Let's see pound dollar. This one might be very similar to euro dollar. Okay, so pound dollar very similar, okay? We can see that it ranged inside the blue box, the resistance right here, and it's getting out. So once it gets out, there are high probabilities that it can reach to lower levels, okay? So be very careful buying below the two boxes in here. There's nothing else holding it other than yesterday's low, so it can reach to all the way down here. So be careful buying on any levels in here. It's best to sell, sell. We have any sell possibilities in here, or maybe you can enter on any other pullbacks within the blue zones or green zones, okay? So be careful buying in here. Let's take a look at Australian dollar. This one is great, it gave a nice sell entry in here on this resistance, okay? We are below the blue box and the red box, so this is great. So that means it could continue going lower. Be careful buying. I would suggest keep looking for sell entries unless you might get, another buy arrow, which will be considered a double bottom, okay? So maybe, if it does continue, let's see, maybe it gives us a double bottom that where you could buy and maybe come back all the way to the blue resistance right over here, okay? But be very careful buying on this pair. It looks like it might continue to go down. Let's see dollar yen. Dollar yen, it's very strong to the uptrend right now. Be careful buying. Be careful selling. It's best that you buy. Look for buy entries. Look at the MAs outside of yesterday's high. We are above the boxes right here. We are above yesterday's high, so it can continue going higher. So it's best that maybe you buy anywhere closer to the MA or maybe yesterday's high, and then kind of getting those pullbacks, okay? Unless you get a double top, meaning two arrows, and then you could maybe consider getting in on the second one and making sure that we are inside prior 4-hour candle, okay? Let's see dollar CAD. All right, so dollar CAD right now, where are we? Dollar CAD is inside this red block right here, well, on top above it. Okay, it's very tiny, so we have to be very careful selling in here. I would also consider maybe buying, you know, closer to this blue red box, or you know, closer to here, anywhere somewhere in here would be nice to get a nice pullback to the upside. So maybe, you know, if it goes down and then maybe keep on going higher. Again, if you want to sell, be very, very careful. Selling in this area could be a little bit dangerous because we are above both boxes, and then it could maybe lead to continue going to the upside. So on this pair, again, if you want to look for sell entries, what is the primary rule? The primary rule would be double top, right? You know, like meaning double this on the second arrow, and making sure that we are inside prior 4-hour candle, okay, closed candle, okay. So that means that there's a high possibility that maybe it might continue, maybe to give us a sell entry to maybe hit any of these lower levels over here, okay. So be very careful selling on this pair right now. Let's see what EURCAD. All right, so this one, what it's doing is that is inside this red box. It can maybe hit over here, and if it gets out, it can definitely hit to yesterday's high. So all we have to do is be very careful. You know, it's best that maybe we look for buy entries and see if it reaches all the way to yesterday's high. And sell entries, it is a possibility as long as, again, we are inside the prior 4-hour candle, okay. So that could be a possibility, you know, very strong. Look at the MA is inside already the red zone, so that means it could lead and push it up all the way to yesterday's high. So be very careful selling on this pair. Let's see Euro Australia. Beautiful. It gave a beautiful pullback in here close to the red box, okay, as you can see. So again, you know, there's a possibility to sell, as we already have one sell entry in here. There's a possibility, but maybe, you know, it might reach all the way to yesterday's high. So be very careful on this one. I would continue to look for buy entries, or again, sell entries could be two as well, but be very careful as long as it's inside your yesterday's high, okay. Once it gets out of it, then it is more dangerous, okay. Let's see Euro Yen, what we got over here. Got an alert somewhere in here. All right, so Euro Yen, again, this one, the yens right now are very dangerous. If you want to buy, I would suggest, again, closer to the moving average or yesterday's high would be great for a nice buy entry. You know, we are above the boxes, we are above yesterday's high, so the MA is outside of yesterday's high. So selling on this pair, it could be very dangerous. As you're able to see yesterday, almost the same thing, and price just kept going higher and higher. So be very careful selling on Euro Yen. It's best that you look for buy pullbacks on here. Let's see Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, the same thing. Yesterday had a nice move up. We had a nice small pullback in here. You know, beautiful. This one might now, you know, reach maybe to lower levels in here. So we have to be careful. If we want to sell, you know, it's best again that it happens inside or below yesterday's high. And then we want to make sure that, you know, at least it's a double top, or that again is inside your prior 4-hour candle, okay. These lines, okay, right here, closed line, not the open one, the closed ones. And then maybe you can reach all the way here, but again, it's best to look for buy possibilities, okay. Let's see pound yen. More or less pound yen is the same thing as Euro yen, as is very high up, right, trending up. So again, this one is also a pair that is best to look for buy entries. We know we already got one buy entry in here, went all the way up. So be very careful selling. Don't sell outside of yesterday's high. If anything you do, make sure it happens below yesterday's high if you're trying to sell in here. Because again, look at what happened yesterday. You know, we are above yesterday's high, and then this thing just kept on going higher and higher. So try to look for buy entries, and if you're looking for any sell possibilities that it can reach all the way down here, which the probabilities are very slim, but make sure it happens below yesterday's high. Let's take a look at pound New Zealand. All right, so pound New Zealand, it gave out a beautiful 2 buy entries pullback in here, and it gave already a pullback right here, right? Very dangerous, and it did go down, and then it's pretty much boom, it bounced on this level right here. Okay, so price has been bouncing in here. Again, if you want to sell like any other pair that is outside of yesterday's high, currently it seems that price, everything is going up, that it happens below yesterday's high. Okay, it's that maybe we can reach over here, or again, maybe look, we can still look for buy entries. Again, we have 2 already that happen in here. It's best to wait maybe anything lower, or again, if you want to sell, wait and make sure that it happens below yesterday's high. Over here we had a beautiful pullback that I missed yesterday. It hit this level, it hit the MA, and then boom, beautiful to the other side of this level. Okay, so let's see what pound New Zealand gives us today. Let's see pound CAD. All right, so pound CAD gave out a entry right now. Looked like it was, by the look at the candles, looked like big news or something going on in here. So with this one, definitely, you know, if we can look for buy entries closer to this, or if it gives out another sell entry that it goes below this red box, that it can bring it all the way to the blue box, would be awesome. Okay, so this is the great thing about this, is that we can see more or less, all right, so if price goes below here, there are high probabilities that it can reach all the way to here, right? Or maybe if it reaches to here, and maybe we can still look for buy entry. So this one is not as bad, but if it stays above this red box, then it can definitely reach to yesterday's high. So be very careful, you know, just to kind of see what we get. Markets are a little bit erratic right now, so be careful entering, and if you enter, try to look for fewer pips. You know, don't look for home runs, because right now the market is up and down and giving us erratic entries. Okay, so if you have any questions, please let me know. I will be available on the chat room.